Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's Femi here today once again, and I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's joining me live. Um, and then I want to say thank you also to the people that will take out time to watch the replay afterwards. Um, Taking out time from your busy schedule is quite appreciated. So, my name is Femi. For those of you that have not met me before, I'm the page. I'm the face of this page. We are representing Abifem Consultant Inc. And I talk a lot about our digital business. So last week, we talked about what makes our digital business model different, and how it has built integrity and automation and mentorship, and those are some of the things that makes it, different from other businesses that you see outside there because of the integrity, because also of the mentorship that we provide, because of the global support that we give. So today, I want to take time, to further. I want to go a step further, right? And talk about those things that make our system fantastic. I would say, I want to talk about the two major things, within our system, right? Which is one is automation and the other one is mentorship. And these are the two components that make the digital business journey very simple and make it, easy, especially for busy professionals like many of us, like the nurses, like the doctors and engineers that have very busy schedules, even the parents as well. So, you know, I know what it's like to work long hours, and still dream of building something that's more flexible, something that gives you time with family, that flexibility that we all crave, with creating an extra income stream as well. And that's exactly what this system, that's what is designed to help us with. I was in your shoes some years back, when I would work 12 hours daily, sometimes 14 hours. And I did that, 24/7 for months, continuously, maybe for like 8 weeks, 6 weeks, sometimes, like that. So I know what it's like, trying to, you know, carve out that time to be able to spend with family and loved ones. So, having said all of that, you know, the major challenge that most people have when it comes to, or the perception that most people have when it comes to uh, having a digital business is like they always think that time is a major issue. Like they probably think most times most of the people that you talk to, right? They have this hesitation because they feel that they'll be overwhelmed, with time, considering their busy schedules and all that, So like they think that the online business is time consuming. They think they need to quit their jobs. Sometimes some of them think that they need to quit their jobs or spend hours every day online. But I beg to differ, that's not the case here. That's why automation is very important. You know, some people also get overwhelmed because they are worried about the several moving parts that may be involved with running a successful digital business. Vis-a-vis things like technical setup, marketing, creating your website, social media, part of it. And honestly, this can feel like it's too much. And to be honest with you, at some point in time, when I was just about starting, I felt the same way as well. People feel that this could be overwhelming when you consider your work schedule and family and other commitments that you have. You probably just think that, okay, you may not be able to keep up with this, or maybe this may not be something that is possible to pull off. And I understand that. But having automation simply means that the system does most of the task for you. That's what it simply means. So when we talk about automation, right, it simply means that the system is doing most of the task for you. So uh like when I say the system is doing most of the task for you, look at it this way. uh, if you have if you have if you have a client, if you have a client, or if you have one client that you have to relate to or to relate with from time to time, right? There could be back and forth, uh, you know, emails that you have to send, in order to for you to be able to keep up with the follow-ups, with the clients. We call them leads, right? And managing information and sharing all of those things, or even presentations, like having a database, that can secure your information, the names of your leads, when they joined, when they requested to be leads, whether or not they have watched the info session that you have put before them, and even your ability also to track your own progress within the business. These are all the things that are done by automation. They are done from the back end. you know for instance, like the follow-up mails that you have to put out there, to send, they come just from the back end. Think about it. If you have like about 5 people or 6 people that you have to respond to, or you have to follow up on every day, it's not just to respond to them, but follow up mails. You could do like about 10 of them, 15 of them, and you can't continue to do this daily. So this is one of the reasons why automation, plays a big role within this business, because it's kind of like an assistant that works for you while you're at work, or while you're asleep, or spending time with family. So that automation is very essential, and is key. And I mean, why does it help, or how does it help people to succeed, in this business? Like, imagine, instead of you spending hours, right, posting links or doing manual works, the system does that for you. For some of you that may have been in contact with our adverts, or you may have watched mine, for instance. Sometimes, like, there's a request for you to click on maybe a learn more button if it's Facebook, and I said, and I will always tell you that, okay, click on this learn more button, and when you click on it, I'll be sending you a mail. you know so, like, you can imagine how many people are clicking on that lemon button and putting their details out there to want to receive information on about the info session, right? That we say is complimentary. So, try and look at it this way: if about 5 people are requesting that, and imagine if you're asleep because of different time zones, that means that it's probably going to take you hours, or when you wake up, before you're able to respond. That's one aspect of it. The response time is taken care of by the system, by the automation. And then the frequency of the response as well, which is very important, because, I mean, like, your business, I mean, like, like, you want your business to run in such a way that, there's so many people. You want as many people as possible to come into your funnel, to what the info session. That's why you advertise to start with, right? So if you have that many people as you actually wish to have, then think about you having to respond, you know, thinking about the timing for response, so that there's no delay. Think now also about the frequency and the workload of doing that. So that's one of the reasons why, like, all those manual work, hallelujah, becomes a burden if you don't have automation. But when you have automation, when you have a system that does all that for you in the background, kind of like your assistant, like I said earlier, or like your assistant, like I said earlier on, and it handles it efficiently, it saves you time, and also reduces stress from you. And this is why you see a lot of people are able to do this, because it allows you, you know, alongside your 9 to 5, it allows you to build the business alongside it, and not to replace the business. Sorry, not to replace your 9 to 5, because oftentimes people think that they may have to, like, there's that notion that, they may not be able to cope up, that it may be taking either one of the two, like maybe you have to leave your 9 to 5 in order for you to be able to run this business successfully. So with automation in place, you don't need to leave your 9 to 5. With automation in place, it simply guarantees that assistance that you required, that's required from someone else. But this time around, that someone else is the system. That automation becomes your assistant, and it does all those things for you in the background that ordinarily you will have had to do by yourself. And by doing that, it frees up time for you, the time that you could have spent, doing like the time that you could not spend to do other important things, you know, uh, in order to make sure that this business does not interfere with your regular 9 to 9. I'll give a typical example. Sometimes I'm sleeping and I wake up in the morning and I see a list of people that have requested, to learn more about this business. And I just see that list in the mail. And for me to have that list, or to have those people, or to have their names and their details, it means that they must have entered it into my adverts, sorry, on my website, following my advert. And then the the system on the back end automatically on its own just sorts out whatever it is that is required, that they require of me, which in most times, right, is the link to watch the info session. So that is taken care of without me being there, with me being asleep. I may even be on a flight. I may be in another country, and that's taken care of. And then the icing of the cake, the icing on the cake for me is, after those people may even have, watched that info session, they have watched that presentation, and they feel that, okay, you know what, that they want to proceed to the next session where they have to pay the 149 US in order for them to be able to proceed to the next session, right? And then at that point in time as well, you know, like it's always a pleasant surprise to just wake up and see, okay, that you have a blessing, you just wake up to it. Sometimes you may be doing some other things and then you just get that notification on your phone that somebody just requested, to learn more about your business. So that's what the digital business, sorry, that's what the automation does. And besides the automation, I made mention of two things that make it easy for you to be able to run your business seamlessly, right? As I talked about automation and I talked about the mentorship, the mentoring. So now that other aspect, which is the mentoring, it's equally as important as the automation, but while the automation handles the technical aspect of the business, the mentoring handles the human aspect of it, right? Because automation gives you the tools, but the mentorship, it gives direction. It gives you the direction, because and it gives you direction by taking out the guesswork. Like imagine if there was like if one was not certain, if there's no certainty, on what task to do and how to go about the task, and then you don't have a mentor, you can imagine how difficult that may be. Like there'll be a lot of guessworking, and sometimes with those guessworking, you time will be wasted, resources will be wasted, and all of that. But when you have a mentor that has been a part of the system and has succeeded in his or her business, guiding you along the line of the business, putting you through what is needed to be done. Not that it's running the business for you, but it's guiding you, and putting you through, pointing you in the right direction. Then, then you know that there's no room for mistakes. Like those errors are out of the place. Like you will not be. Like there will be less chances for you to experience errors in your business. So that is very, very key to this business. So, like I've talked about the automation, right? The importance of automation, right? And how the automation is achieved within our business, for instance, right? Like uh, what it does for you, how it helps to free out to free up your time, and then also the mentorship that helps to guide and put you in the right direction, so that you don't just throw punches in the air, so that you don't so that you do, so that your effort is properly targeted, so that you can get results that is necessary to have great success in your business. So, like instead of spending hours, trying to figure out things by yourself, which of course sometimes you have to do, because nobody's going to spoon feed you in the business, but then you have people that are going to guide you, so that, like from their own experience, right? They're going to guide you so that like you spend less time trying to get stuff, or wasting time on things that may not really work for you. So that way, like you're able to free up time and do things that are needful. Okay, so I won't say that. Just in summary, we know starting anything new can feel very intimidating if you don't really have an understanding. It's like somebody giving you an algebra question, to tackle by yourself when you have not gotten adequate insight to how the formulas work. In order for you to be able to tackle the algebra, you may just be looking at it and it's looking at you. But when you have somebody that is able to put you through, then it's easy to be intimidating, because you're not doing it alone. So that access to the experienced business owners within the community, which is worldwide, by the way, gives you that mentorship and helps, to it helps you, or it helps take out the guesswork from what you have to do. So, like when you join this business, you get access to our step by step, complete access to our step by step training, and 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 that step by step training also, is something that you can pause, and come back to where you left it and continue again, because the training is um is um is video based, so it makes life easy for you. you know well, having said all of this, the combination of the automation alongside the the mentoring really helps you, to free out time. And that's what has made it possible for a lot of us, a lot of people within the business community that are busy, like some of the doctors that we have amongst us, some of the engineers, oilfield workers, some of the nurses that we have amongst us. That is what has helped them to be able to free out time, you know. So with this, you don't have to be thinking about whether or not you have to leave your regular 9 to 5 in order to be able to fulfill running this business, because the combination of that mentoring and the automation, which are key to your success, helps to free out your timing, because those things that you would have spent time doing, attending to mails constantly and all that, or maybe trying to build around the tech, trying to build your website and all those stuff, that is done for you already, and then having the assistance of the people that are already experienced within the system guiding you, so that your mistakes or the errors that you make in your trying to get your business uh, um, you know, on the run or on the go is minimized. So all those things are added up together, to make life easy for you. So uh, that's what makes it easy for people within the business to be able to do this business, you know, with their regular 9 to 5 still on. Because like I said, the technical side is handled by the automation, and the human side is handled by the mentoring, and both of these together, they remove confusion and guesswork, and thereby they give you structure, they give you the tools and the support that you need. And that's why you have people from all walks of life, join our business, and they thrive on our business. So, well, at this point, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you. But before I close, I just want to say that you know, like you don't have to leave your regular work in order for you to be able to start our digital business. That could have just been, I mean, like, that's not adequate information. I'm just giving you adequate information now so that you can know that for these reasons of having mentorship and this reason of having automation, right? You do not need to quit your job. As a matter of fact, there are people. I mean, almost everybody that comes into the business already, they had something they were doing anyway. They are coming to the business just for different reasons. Some of them may just be to free up some time so that they can have, a very good work-life balance. Some of them could just be some of it could just be for, to have an additional income. you know. And we have seen in cases where some people haven't established their business and everything seemed to be thriving for them. Their business seemed to be thriving. Some have decided to leave their regular 9 to 5, while some people, with with regards that they have successfully, or sorry, with despite the fact that they are thriving, within their business, because of the interest that they have in their regular 9 to 5, they still hold on to both of them. Even though their regular 9 to 5 may be so busy, and they may be making less, much less in that compared to what they make from business, they still hang up to their, they still hang on to their business, sorry, to their regular 9 to 5, because they just love to do both of them together. There's nothing wrong with that. So that myth of, like, you have to drop one for the other it's not founded. But you know what? Like they say, the taste of the pudding is always in the eating. So, in order for you to be able to find out more, to learn more about this business, you need to watch our free info session, which you can find by registering with your name and email address on my website. You see right under my name there, under abifem.com. Or you could just message me, in the comment section. Uh, how do I watch the free info session, and I will send you the link to watch it with. Having said that, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you that have been with me from the beginning of this live to the end. And for those of you that have been watching the replay, I'd like to know where you're watching from. And if you have any comments or if you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comment section, so I'll be addressing them in my next live, in my next go live. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day, and God bless you.